Archaeologists in Egypt made a groundbreaking discovery this week under ancient sands.
Very important place. It reveals many important treasures.
In the heart of one of Earth's most desolate places, something unthinkable was discovered, something not of this world. A group of scientists, on what was supposed to be a routine desert expedition, stumbled upon an alien life form buried beneath the shifting sands. How could something so extraordinary remain hidden for so long? Join us as we unravel 20 of the most shocking alien discoveries in deserts. Number 20. The world's only honey-producing ants. In the dry, desert-like regions of Australia, Africa, and North America, there are honey-producing ants. These ants are creatures we usually want far away from our homes. It all starts with the grazing ants, which collect beverages from flowers or fluids from plants. After returning to the nest, they vomit the sweet liquid and feed it to special worker ants called repletes. These repletes act like living storage containers as they continue to be fed by the scavenger until their abdomens swell to an enormous size, resembling tiny grapes. The nectar stored inside these swollen ants goes through a transformation, much like the honey-making process in bees. Enzymes break down the sugars, converting them into a more stable and long-lasting form of honey. But this honey isn't for immediate use. It's saved as a reserve for the territory, especially during times when food becomes scarce. When the colony needs to access this reserve, other ants gently stimulate the repletes, causing them to vomit the stored honey. While it might not sound like the most appetizing process, it's an incredibly fascinating way for ants to survive in harsh environments. Number 19. Enormous shrine. In 2022, archaeologists made a monumental discovery in the heart of Jordan's vast eastern desert, an ancient shrine that is believed to be over 9,000 years old. This site, thought to have been used for religious rituals related to hunting, was unearthed in the remote Kashabieh Mountains, deep within the eastern Al Jafar Basin. The excavation began in 2021, led by a collaborative team of Jordanian and French archaeologists. What makes this discovery even more remarkable is the treasure trove of artifacts found within the shrine. Among the 150 marine fossils discovered were intricate animal carving, finely crafted flint tools, an altar, and a house, all shedding light on the shrine's ceremonial significance. However, the most striking findings were two large stones carefully carved with human facial features, adding an air of mystery to the shrine's purpose and meaning. In addition to these relics, the team uncovered an architectural model of a desert kite, an ancient hunting trap. Not far from the shrine, they found actual full-size desert kites. These massive V-shaped stone structures, sometimes stretching over a mile, were cleverly designed to herd wild black ducks and deer into enclosures where they could be captured and slaughtered. The proximity of these kites to the shrine suggests that hunting wasn't just a means of survival, but played a crucial role in the cultural, economic, and symbolic life of these dateless hunter-gatherers. Number 18. One of the hottest places on Earth. The Danakil Depression is one of the most extreme and fascinating places on Earth. Not only is it one of the hottest spots on the planet, but it's also among the most hostile and uninhabitable. Located about 410 feet below sea level, the area is sometimes called the Gateway to Hell. Despite its otherworldly beauty, it poses serious dangers to humans. What makes this place so striking are its vibrant hydrothermal formations. These colorful landscapes are shaped by the interaction between underground ashes and water, which creates hot springs that deposit minerals like sulfur, iron, and salt. From a distance, the bright neon green pools, vivid yellows, and deep reds create an almost strange scene, making you feel as if you're looking at an alien world. However, this isn't a place where just anyone can visit. The region experiences some of the highest temperatures on Earth, with averages drifting around 94 degrees Fahrenheit and peaks reaching an extremely hot temperature, 120 degree F to 130 degree F. Despite the harsh conditions, Scientists still explore this unique environment because of its unusual characteristics. Interestingly, the land here is slowly sinking, and scientists predict that one day the Danakil Depression may be covered by the ocean. Fortunately, this won't happen for millions of years, long after our generation has passed. Number 17. The longest straight road in the world. Tucked away in the vast, seemingly endless Rub al Khali Desert, also known as the Empty Quarter, lies the world's longest straight road. This road extends at 149 miles without a single curve. This remarkable highway starts in the Harad area, connecting to Highway 75, and runs as straight as an arrow all the way to Highway 95 near Al-Batha, close to the border with the United Arab Emirates. Originally, this road wasn't open to just anyone. It was designed as a private road for King Fahd. But today, it's a public road, earning the distinction of being the longest straight road on Earth. What makes this road so extraordinary isn't just its length, but also its engineering marvel. It slices through the barren desert landscape like a ruler's edge, offering drivers a truly one-of-a-kind experience. To drive the entire stretch takes around 2 hours, which is why it's especially popular with truckers hauling goods across the region. However, this road is also known as the most boring road in the world. Number 16. A gigantic 2-mile crack in the middle of the Arizona desert. In December 2014, geologist Joseph Cook made a startling discovery while exploring the vast Arizona desert using Google Earth. What caught his eye was no ordinary crack. It was a massive opening stretching an incredible 2 miles across the landscape. At first glance, it appeared small, but as he zoomed in and examined drone footage, the true size of the crack became clear. The northern part of the fissure, being older, was relatively shallow and partially filled in over time. However, the southern section was far more dramatic, plunging deep into the earth, reaching depths of up to 30 feet in some places. When scientists first examined the opening, they were puzzled by its sudden appearance. It seemed to have come out of nowhere, but after careful study, they discovered the cause. Groundwater withdrawal, a common practice in Arizona's agricultural regions. As water is pumped from underground aquifers, the land above begins to sink, causing these enormous cracks to form. Over time, experts believe this fissure will only continue to grow, as the visible crack is just part of a much larger underground system that could expand even further as more water is consumed. Though the opening is located in a remote area and doesn't pose an immediate threat to nearby communities, it presents a hidden danger to adventurers and off-road explorers who could unknowingly stumble upon it. As Arizona continues to struggle with water management issues, there is growing concern about the potential for more openings to form. For now, the hope is that the growth of this crack will be slow, but the reality of the situation suggests that it may be an ongoing challenge for the region. Number 15. Mars Desert Research Station. The Mars Desert Research Station, MDRS, operated by the Mars Society, is a state-of-the-art facility located in the barren Utah desert, created to replicate the challenging conditions of Mars. Its purpose is to advance the technology, operations, and scientific research required for human space exploration. The facility operates for an 8-month field season each year, welcoming professional scientists, engineers, and students who are preparing for future Mars missions. What makes MDRS so special is its isolation within a Martian-like landscape, offering a perfect environment for intense field studies and research on how humans might live and work on Mars. Teams who stay there typically carry out missions lasting 2 to 3 weeks, although longer missions are sometimes conducted. During their stay, they live under conditions that closely mimic life on the Red Planet, allowing for thorough testing of technologies and procedures in a setting that simulates Mars's harsh climate. One of the standout features of MDRS is the surrounding terrain, which bears a striking resemblance to the surface of Mars. This geologically similar landscape brings an extra layer of realism to the experiments, providing valuable insights into how future astronauts might explore and conduct research on Mars. By recreating these experiences, MDRS is helping pave the way for humanity's eventual journey to the Red Planet. Number 14. Flying dragon fossil in Chile. Researchers in Chile have recently made an astonishing discovery: a fossil of a creature they've dubbed a flying dragon in the dry, desolate lands of the Atacama Desert. Despite the fearsome name, this creature was not a mythical dragon, but a dinosaur, a flying reptile that soared through the skies about 160 million years ago during the Jurassic period. This particular fossil is groundbreaking because it's the first of its kind to be found in the southern hemisphere. The dinosaur had a wingspan of roughly 6 feet, with a long, pointed tail and sharp, outward jutting teeth, features that made it an effective predator in its time. Prior to this discovery, dinosaurs of this species were only known to exist in the northern hemisphere, making this find incredibly significant. It suggests that these ancient reptiles had a far wider range than scientists previously believed, possibly migrating long distances or following coastlines during their existence. Interestingly, the Atacama Desert, known today as one of the driest places on Earth, was once covered by an ancient ocean during the Jurassic period. Its coastal environment would have been a perfect habitat for dinosaurs. This discovery opens up exciting possibilities for future fossil finds, shedding light on the diverse and thriving ecosystems that once existed in what is now an arid, barren desert. Number 13. People once lived in a lava tube. Beneath the vast Arabian desert lies Jirsan, an ancient lava tube located in the Harat Kaiba volcanic field in northwestern Saudi Arabia. While it was initially believed to be just a volcanic feature, recent discoveries have revealed its significant role as an underground haven for humans and animals. During the Neolithic and Bronze Ages, roughly 7,000 to 10,000 years ago, people and their livestock likely sought shelter in this cave to escape the harsh desert climate and avoid predators. What makes Jirsan remarkable is that, despite being a lava tube, its temperature is far cooler and more comfortable than the scorching desert above. It served not only as a refuge, but also as a hidden sanctuary where early humans could survive in a hostile environment. Thousands of years later, researchers uncovered a treasure trove of artifacts that tell the story of those who once lived there. Human bones, animal remains, stone tools, and ancient rock art illustrating cattle, sheep, goats, and dogs were found within the cave. These findings suggest that the inhabitants were pastoralists, relying heavily on their livestock for survival. Interestingly, the cave's history doesn't end with humans. Over time, it became a den for striped hyenas, as evidenced by piles of bones left behind. Number 12. Solar farm in Mojave Desert. The Mojave Desert Solar Park, a key solar energy project in California, stands as a shining example of the region's dedication to renewable energy. Covering an impressive 164-acre, this 25-megawatt solar photovoltaic plant was developed by Solar Park and began operations in 2012. It produces about 58,000 megawatt-hours of electricity every year, which is enough to power around 9,000 homes. Additionally, it helps reduce carbon dioxide emissions by 31,000 tons annually. Nestled in the heart of the Mojave Desert, the park takes full advantage of some of the highest levels of solar radiation in the United States. This prime location allows it to efficiently capture solar energy. The electricity generated is sold to Southern California Edison under a 20-year power purchase agreement, ensuring a steady income and ongoing operation. The Mojave Desert has long been a hotspot for solar energy projects due to its excellent sunlight conditions. The solar park contributes to this tradition, joining other significant facilities, such as the Solar Energy Generating System's SEGS plants and the Avalon Solar Power Facility. These plants underscore the desert's pivotal role in advancing solar technology, providing a sustainable way to meet energy needs while helping to fight climate change. Number 11. Desert art depicting grassland. Between 11,500 and 5,000 years ago, the Sahara was transformed during a remarkable period called the African Humid Period. During this time, thunderstorm rains shifted northward, turning what was once a dry desert into a thriving expanse of fertile grasslands, dotted with rivers and lakes. This green environment was a paradise for a variety of wildlife, including majestic giraffes, towering elephants, and formidable crocodiles. Early human communities flourished in these rich conditions, thriving in a land that offered both abundant resources and a hospitable climate. These ancient artworks vividly illustrate the Sahara as flourishing grassland, a stark contrast to the desert we see today. As the African Humid Period drew to a close around 5,000 years ago, the climate began to shift once more. The lush grasslands gradually gave way to the harsh, dry desert that dominates the region now. This dramatic change forced human communities to adapt and migrate toward the more hospitable Nile Valley and other fertile areas. This migration set the stage for the rise of great civilizations, including ancient Egypt, as people sought new lands where they could build and thrive. Number 10. Long-lost shipwreck, laden with gold. Discovering a shipwreck in the middle of a desert is already an astonishing find, but imagine uncovering a shipwreck in the desert that's not only there, but also brimming with gold. It sounds like something out of a legend, yet that's exactly what was found in the Namibian desert. The wreck belongs to the ship named the Bom Jesus, which set sail from Lisbon on March 7, 1533. The ship was headed to India, but vanished without a trace. It wasn't until centuries later that it was rediscovered during a diamond mining operation near the town of Luderitz. The Bom Jesus, which means Good Jesus, was carrying an unexpected cargo. Among the treasures were over 2,000 gold coins, bronze bowls, fine tableware, muskets, cannons, and even a time capsule. To make the discovery even more remarkable, the ship also contained 44,000 pounds of copper metal ball and more than 100 elephant tusks. The prevailing theory is that the Bom Jesus struck a rock off the coast during a storm, causing it to sink. Over time, the coastline shifted and retreated, burying the wreck beneath layers of sand. The remains of the shipwreck have been preserved, but efforts to create a museum around it have not materialized due to the challenging location. Number 9. Welwitschia plant. Welwitschia mirabilis is one of the most extraordinary and resilient plants on Earth, thriving in the arid Namib Desert that stretches across Angola, Namibia, and South Africa. This fascinating plant often resembles a tangled heap of kelp stranded far from the ocean. Remarkably, it consists of only 2 leaves that grow continuously throughout the plant's life, which can exceed 1,000 years. As these leaves mature, they extend to impressive lengths, curling and fraying at the edges. Welwitschia's survival strategy is perfectly suited to its harsh environment. It features deep roots that tap into hidden underground water sources and can withstand extreme droughts. Its unique physiology includes a thick, colorless coating on its leaves that helps minimize water loss and specialized stomata that further reduce transpiration. However, climate change presents a serious threat to this ancient plant. Rising temperatures and shifting rainfall patterns could push Welwitschia beyond its limits of tolerance, putting its survival at risk. Conservationists warn that this remarkable species may need to be added to the IUCN Red List of threatened species to raise awareness and promote protective measures. Number 8. Mysterious stone structures. Between 2002 and 2009, archaeologists made incredible discoveries in the Western Sahara, uncovering hundreds of enigmatic stone structures. This region, historically marred by conflict and largely untouched by modern explorers, revealed a fascinating array of formations dating back thousands of years. These ancient stone arrangements come in various shapes and sizes, including crescents, circles, straight lines, and enormous rectangles, spanning an impressive 2,006 feet in total. Despite the groundbreaking nature of this discovery, over a decade has passed, and many questions remain unanswered about the purpose of these stones. Some of these mysterious formations are thought to mark burial sites, as certain rock piles were found to contain human remains dating back around 1,005 years. However, the full significance and functions of these structures are still covered in mystery, largely due to the limited excavation work allowed in the area. Number 7. Gates of Hell. The Skeleton Coast, stretching along Namibia's northern Atlantic coast, is a 300-meter expanse renowned for its harshness. This desolate region, where the frigid Benguela Current collides with the blazing Namib Desert, has earned the grim nickname the Gates of Hell. Here, the relentless state of confusion, powerful currents, and dangerous waters have turned the coastline into a graveyard for countless ships over the centuries, from ancient wooden galleons to modern steel frame work vessels. One of the most famous wrecks is the Edward Boleyn, which ran aground in 1909 and now lies stranded in the desert, more than half a mile from the shoreline due to shifting sands. But the coast is not only a resting place for ships, it also harbors the remains of whales, marine life, and even human skeletons, leftovers from shipwreck survivors who could not withstand the desert's brutal conditions. Despite the area's reputation for death and desolation, life manages to flourish in this inhospitable environment. The Skeleton Coast National Park, spanning 6,005 square miles, is one of the least visited places on Earth, but a thriving sanctuary for wildlife. Here, resilient creatures like Cape hair seals, lions, hyenas, and desert-adapted elephants find their home. Along the coast, large colonies of seals thrive, while the inland riverbeds provide sustenance for giraffes, black buffalo, and baboons. Number 6. Kolmanskop Ghost Town. Kolmanskop, once a lively mining town in what was then German Southwest Africa, now stands strangely silent in the Namib Desert. Founded in the early 1900s, the town boomed during the Diamond Rush, offering its residents luxuries few would expect in such a desolate place. At its peak, Kolmanskop had a per capita wealth so staggering that it was often called the richest town on Earth for its size. The source of this immense prosperity was diamond mining, where precious gems were literally picked up from the desert floor by hand. However, the town's glory was short-lived. As the diamond supply dwindled, Kolmanskop's fortunes quickly faded. By the 1950s, the town was abandoned, leaving behind a strange and decaying landscape. Today, Kolmanskop stands as a haunting reminder of its former glory, slowly being swallowed by the desert sands. Once opulent homes now lie in ruins, their paint peeling, tools rusting, and doors barely hanging from their hinges. The desert has reclaimed these buildings, with sand crawling into every room, and the only visitors now are the footprints of small creatures wandering across floors that were once immaculate. Adding to the strange and ghostly scene, bathtubs lie scattered outside, contributing to the weird atmosphere of this forgotten town. Now it's time for today's subscriber's pick. In the heart of the unforgiving Sahara Desert, where the sun blazes relentlessly and the sands stretch endlessly, an extraordinary discovery was about to unravel. For years, this dried-up wasteland had been a canvas of harsh beauty and silence. But beneath the unyielding dunes lay a secret that would alter the course of human history. It began with an unusual blip on a satellite's thermal imaging system. Researchers from an international space agency had been scanning the desert for potential signs of extraterrestrial life when their equipment detected a strange anomaly, a cold spot in an otherwise uniformly hot desert. With curiosity awakened, a team of scientists embarked on an expedition to investigate. As they traversed the shifting sands, a sense of both excitement and fear filled the air. After days of relentless travel, their vehicles finally halted at a seemingly ordinary section of the desert. But beneath their feet, the ground gave way to a hidden chamber, illuminated by the glow of their equipment. Inside, to their astonishment, knelt a dark, humanoid figure, a being unlike anything ever encountered before. Its skin shined with a deep black color, absorbing the light rather than reflecting it. The alien's posture was one of profound submission, its head bowed as if in reverence or contemplation, The scientists stood in disbelief, struggling to comprehend the implications of their find. The alien's presence was both mesmerizing and disconcerting. Its eyes, large and luminescent, seemed to pierce through the very fabric of their reality. What had brought this alien to Earth? And why was it in such a posture? Let's know your thoughts and comments below. Number 5. Toothy dolphins found in Pisco Desert in southern Peru. Archaeologists have made an exciting discovery, unearthing the exceptionally well-preserved fossils of a long-extinct dolphin species that lived around 16 million years ago. Unlike the playful dolphins we are familiar with today, these ancient dolphins had strikingly large teeth. Among the fossils found are remains of 3 dolphins, with 2 of them boasting remarkably well-preserved skulls. This newly identified species belongs to a very old branch of dolphins, known for their distinctive, long, narrow, and tooth-filled beaks, as well as their small eyes, which were well suited for the dark, murky waters of their freshwater habitats during the Miocene era. Back in that era, the landscape where these dolphins thrived was dramatically different from the present day. It was once part of a vast system of lakes and swamps, teeming with a variety of marine and freshwater life. These fossil discoveries not only deepen our knowledge of ancient dolphin species, but also offer valuable insights into the climate and ecological changes that have unfolded over millions of years. As researchers continue their work in this area, they are hopeful that more secrets about the lives and surroundings of these ancient marine mammals will come to light. Number 4. Oldest jellyfish graveyard. In 2017, archaeologists made a remarkable discovery in Death Valley, California, a 540-million-year-old graveyard filled with jellyfish fossils. These ancient remains, dating back to the Cambrian period, represent one of the oldest and most important finds of jellyfish fossils ever recorded. What's especially incredible is that jellyfish are soft-bodied creatures, making their preservation extremely rare since their delicate structure doesn't usually fossilize well. After all, jellyfish today are made up of about 95% water, which makes them almost like living water droplets. But during the Cambrian period, a unique set of environmental conditions made it possible for these jellyfish to be fossilized. The sandy seashores of that time were covered in thick microbial mats, which formed a sticky substance that trapped and preserved the impressions of these jellyfish with extraordinary detail. This fascinating discovery also reveals that the now dry and arid Death Valley was once a shallow, lively marine environment. It's believed that these jellyfish were stranded on the shore as the tides retreated, a process that still happens today. However, unlike modern times, there were no scavengers like birds or crabs to consume the jellyfish remains, allowing them to fossilize undisturbed. These fossils offer valuable insights into the Cambrian period, a time when life on Earth began to rapidly diversify. Number 3. The black mailbox. In the lonely expanse of the Nevada desert, a peculiar symbol of extraterrestrial fascination stands: the black mailbox. Originally, it belonged to a rancher named Steve Medlin, who used it for everyday mail. However, the box faced constant vandalism and theft, which led Medlin to move it closer to his ranch. Despite the excitement it stirred among UFO believers, Medlin himself wasn't caught up in alien theories. He simply noticed the frequent military aircraft flying over the area, thanks to the nearby top-secret military base, Area 51. Eventually, the mailbox was replaced by what is now famously known as the black mailbox, which, despite its faded white color, has become a landmark for those interested in UFOs and extraterrestrial life. Covered in stickers, street art, and messages from visitors, the mailbox has turned into an unofficial spot where people leave notes, small gifts, and even cans of beer as offerings to any potential aliens. This quirky practice has transformed the mailbox into a collector of odd items from people hoping for a mysterious connection. Situated between the small towns of Alamo and Rachel, the area surrounding the black mailbox is barren and desolate, with nothing but the wide-open desert in every direction. But despite the remote location, it has become a magnet for UFO enthusiasts and conspiracy theorists, drawn by the beliefs of Area 51. Number 2. 4,000 nine-year-old swords. In 2003, archaeologists made an incredible discovery in a cave near the Dead Sea in the Judean desert. 4 ancient Roman swords, dating back around 1,900 years. These swords are believed to have been hidden by Judean rebels during the Bar Kokhba revolt, which occurred between 132 and 135 CE. The swords were found in remarkable condition, with their blades still intact, measuring between 60 and 65 centimeters, and even included a shorter sword, known as a ring pommel sword, with a blade length of 45 centimeters. What makes this discovery even more fascinating is that the swords were still sheathed in their original wooden and leather scabbards, which have also been well preserved. Historians think the Judean rebels hid these weapons because they didn't want to be caught carrying Roman arms during their struggle against the Roman Empire. As researchers continue to explore the area, archaeologists hope this discovery will shed more light on the chaotic events that unfolded nearly 2 millennia ago in this desert region. The find offers a rare glimpse into the lives of those who fought for their freedom in such a troubled time. Number 1. Salvation Mountain. Salvation Mountain is an extraordinary work of art created by Leonard Knight, nestled in the California desert near Nyland, just northeast of the Salton Sea. In the 1980s, Knight, a local resident, embarked on a journey to turn a simple hillside into a colorful masterpiece of Christian art. Using materials like adobe bricks, discarded tires, old car parts, and thousands of gallons of paint, he crafted a vibrant visual expression of his faith. The mountain is adorned with numerous murals, featuring Christian messages and Bible verses, with a central focus on the sinner's prayer. Knight's creation is a reflection of his deep personal belief, transforming the landscape into a spiritual and artistic sanctuary. In 2000s, the Folk Art Society of America recognized Salvation Mountain as an important cultural site, acknowledging its value as a piece of folk art worth preserving. Its fame spread even further in 2002 when California Senator Barbara Boxer described it as a national treasure in a speech to Congress. She praised its unique beauty and the way it connects with people on a personal level. However, the harsh desert environment poses ongoing challenges to keeping the mountain's vibrant colors and structures intact. Over the years, a dedicated group of volunteers and supporters has worked tirelessly to maintain Knight's vision, with a public charity being set up in 2011 to help fund preservation efforts. In 2013, the Annenberg Foundation made a significant donation to support these ongoing efforts, ensuring that Leonard Knight's remarkable and visionary creation would continue to inspire and be celebrated by visitors from all over the world. Do you think this discovery will lead to more revelations about extraterrestrial life? What other strange phenomena do you believe are out there, waiting to be found? Share your opinions and theories in the comments below.